Oh, my dear friends, let's understand something very important, very new one, okay? And it's very common, very useful for spoken English. She was crying because I have a friend, he asked me a question. He said, when you came to my home that day, you saw a girl was crying. Why was she crying? He said to me. I said, she was crying because she was hungry. I know that she was hungry, that's why she was crying. So the she was crying is the correct answer. The second one, she must have been hungry. This is also a correct one. When I don't know exactly why she was crying because I'm quite sure that she was hungry. To mean this, we would use she must have been hungry. She was crying because she must have been hungry. I'm quite sure that she was hungry, but actually, I don't know the reality. Okay, she was crying because my answer could be like this as well. She was crying because she might have been hungry. I am not sure. Okay, I think this could be 50-50 chances are there. Okay, she was crying because she might have been hungry. Okay, here I'm talking about the two actions were happening at the same time. She was hungry, so she was crying. Both were happening at the same time. She must have been hungry means she was hungry, I'm sure, and at the same time she was crying. Okay, she might have been hungry, and at that time she was crying. Means two actions are happening at the same time. I'm not saying that she was hungry before and then she was crying. No, it's not the case. And she may have been hungry. This is not the correct choice. Okay, we are talking about past. Okay, so we should not use may over here, but we can use may have been hungry when we talk about before now, any time before now. But the time is specific. One day I went to my friend's home and I'm talking about that time. Here may have been is used like a present perfect tense, while might have been can be used like a past perfect tense. Okay, let's see some more situations. Okay, she was crying because her mother scolded her. Her mother scolded her first, then she started crying. We can also say she was crying because her mother had scolded her. Okay, past perfect tense can also be used as past simple without much difference in meaning. Okay, there is no difference at all. Okay, in this situation, because she scolded her first, then she cried. Here, past simple and past perfect both say the same thing. Okay, she was crying because her mother was scolding her. These two things were happening at the same time. She was crying because her mother had been scolding her. Here it talks about a finished action. She scolded her for quite long time and then she started crying. Means the scolding finished and then she started crying. Okay, so here past simple, past progressive, past perfect and past perfect progressive tense talks about that I know the reality, I know why she was crying. But what if I do not know the reality? I make a guess. Okay, I make a deduction, I make a supposition over there. She was crying because her mother must have scolded her, or because her mother might have scolded her. Okay, must have means I'm quite sure that her mother scolded her, that's why she was crying. She was crying because her mother might have scolded her. I think this could be the possibility. Okay, she was crying because her mother must have been scolding her, or she was crying because her mother might have been scolding her. Here the same thing, must when we are quite sure, might when we just think. It could be 50-50 chances are there. Here I want to tell you one very important thing, that must, might, have been plus verb ing can be used to mean like past progressive tense or past perfect progressive tense. Okay. For example, she was crying because her mother was scolding her. She was crying because her mother must have been scolding her, I'm sure. Okay. She was crying because her mother had been scolding her. She was crying because her mother must have been scolding her, I'm sure. Here, must or might have been plus verb ing can be used to say that something was in progress at the same time the other thing was happening, or something was in progress before something in the past. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If this is the case, please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.